Hi, I'm Mrs McLaughlin.
And I'm Miss Babe.
And we're here today to give you a quick recap of the things that we've implemented this year for teaching and learning at St John Fisher.
Teaching and learning is everything that happens from the moment that child enters the classroom, where the teacher, their actions, their thoughts are imparted, and the child can then take that away. They can engage with that subject, deepen their subject knowledge, and hopefully engage and enjoy that knowledge. It gives our pupils life chances. It lets them go on to whatever it is they want to do in the future, open doors for them and flourish as individuals. One of the big things for us at St John Fisher is our Excel framework, which really encompasses everything we want to do in terms of our teaching and learning strategy. It stands for the entry task, when pupils arrive, really looking at the retrieval and reading at the start of a lesson. It leads to the excellent relationships between staff and pupils between themselves. It leads to the challenge and support for all our learners, the effective questioning and modelling, and the techniques and strategies that take place in the classrooms, and learning over time for the pupils. It's heavily evidence-based, so a lot of the techniques and strategies that we drive through that are from Rosenshine's principles, from Sweller's cognitive load theory, so there's a lot of evidence bases behind it. I think one thing that's been really effective is the teaching and learning team. So Justine and Laura sending out those regular updates, regular techniques and strategies that can be used across school. I know staff really value that input, the videos, the resources.
One of the things that we've implemented successfully this year has been peer-to-peer observations with members of staff in the school. This has been really valuable because it's given staff an opportunity to actually get out of their departments and to be able to see the really good work that goes on in other departments.
The CPD this year has been focused on 3 of Rosenshine's principles, those being retrieval, questioning and modelling.
We interviewed Year 7 pupils to talk about their learning journey here at St John Fisher throughout their first year, Year 7.
The aim of this was to see if they picked up on some of the key messages that we passed down through teaching and learning, and to see if they'd really focused on those 3 core Rosenshine principles of retrieval, of modelling and also of questioning.
We use retrieval to remember knowledge from previous lessons. A way of doing this is through word association. For example, in RE we use word association to bring back memories from previous lessons. Like, if I need to remember the word marriage, I will use the word rings or wedding. It helps me form a picture in my head which helps me recall the knowledge from other lessons. Another way of revising or recalling knowledge from other lessons is using mind maps. Usually I use mind maps in history to help us remember key words, key dates and sometimes key people. Another thing a mind map could do is give us a big overview of a certain topic, and it kind of pulls all the strands together.
So one way that modelling is used is, for example, in math, as the teacher, like for example, they explain and show how we are meant to do the work. So first we watch a video which shows us the lesson, and after the teacher may include some details from themselves to explain to the whole class, so they do understand and they are able to do the work. So for example, we then do our work or complete it in a worksheet or a book, and we are able to finish the lesson. Another way the teachers would use modelling would be in history, as for example, the teachers first explain the lesson, and after, if we need to write a paragraph about it, then they show us a good structure to write it in. So for example, we've got PEEL paragraphs, which stand for point, example, explanation and link. So the teachers would then write an example on the board of how this structure works, and we would rewrite it in our books or create our own paragraph of the knowledge we learn about in the lesson. So once we've seen it, then we would replicate it.
One way that teachers use questioning in classrooms is through class charts, such as the random name generator. This makes the questioning process kind of random and fair. It's great in the classroom because it makes sure that everybody's more engaged and knows what's happening. Another way that teachers use questioning is through probing questions. Sometimes they ask you to elaborate more, and if you can verbalize it, it lodges in your brain more often.
One of our main aims this year was to encourage collaborative practice within staff. With that in mind, based on the Rosenshine principle of the term, we've asked staff to share ideas. For example, we've had geography sharing ideas on retrieval, we've had PE sharing ideas on dual coding. The second thing we tried to do this year is to raise the profile of teaching and learning amongst both pupils and staff. With this in mind, we have a teaching and learning slide on the pupil bulletin each week that is focused on one specific department. Each department provides a learning tip that will help the pupils to achieve to best ability. We also have an inspirational person linked to careers. We have a quote that is aimed to motivate and inspire our pupils. And finally, we have a quick fun questions that we hope engages pupils further. Once per half term, we've had a teaching and learning meeting. In those meetings, we've been able to discuss teaching and learning ideas within our own curriculum area. We've discussed problems and issues within teaching and learning and collaborated as a team to try and problem solve those.
The discussions that can take place within those teaching and learning meetings, that's a really wholesome and valuable opportunity to learn from one another, and it's really helped to develop that collaborative culture across school.
The last thing that we've used this year has been to use these teaching and learning videos as a method of disseminating the really important strategies we've used to all staff. As these videos have gone live on social media, it also means that our parents, our pupils, staff, trainee teachers, etc. have all been able to view the good work that we've been doing here at St John Fisher. We also feel as well that it's really easy to absorb the material that comes from a video. Just by clicking on the button, you can watch it, you can repeat watch it, and you're not leafing through bits of paper, etc. to try and find that information again. It's all at your fingertips.
I'm always excited about what the future holds at St John Fisher with the new build coming up, with the teaching and learning strategy in place and the effective teams that we have now to support staff. We really want to establish a coaching culture within school, so really looking at instructional coaching, working together to look at the best ways that we can improve the outcomes from the classroom.
Gone are the days where, with traditional observations, where people were graded and then moved on and it was filed away. We want to try and develop staff further and really encourage conversations amongst staff in how to improve.
Collaboration really is key when it comes to teaching and learning. An example of this collaboration would be for like departments to be able to be given time to successfully work together. This means that departments can explore key ideas, key concepts that might overlap between topics, and it means that we can maximise potential for things like keywords, study and any crossover links that we might have between subjects.
A new idea we want to introduce next year is looking at something called a pick and mix, where we share every half term 6 ideas around teaching and learning that staff can delve into as and when they wish to. Things like who to follow on educational Twitter, good examples of videos that you can watch. Simple, quick but meaningful CPD that staff can use to develop their own particular skill set.
Ultimately, I'd really like to thank the staff for their engagement with everything we've done in teaching and learning this year. Quite a big change in terms of what we've been used to in terms of the developmental appraisal targets, in terms of peer-to-peer work, but it's been really well received.
We'd really like to thank you for all your hard work, all the strategies that you've shared, all the ideas that you've helped us out with in regards to teaching and learning this year.
We can't wait to see what you've got to produce next year, and we look forward to seeing ideas and sharing ideas as well on your behalf. Thank you.